Welcome to the Smarmy Grin Podcast, episode number 18. On tonight's podcast, I'll be talking about The Walking Dead season opener and Fear the Walking Dead season finale from a couple of weeks ago. And that's going to be pretty much it. I might talk about some NBA tonight on the vent segment. I might talk about some NBA. Maybe if I have time, I'll try to keep this under 20 minutes for you guys tonight. Sorry it's going to be so short, but it is a little bit late tonight, so I need to get some rest, guys. But I'm just going to touch on The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, so I hope you guys enjoy tonight's podcast on the Smarmy Grin Podcast episode number 18. What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome back to the Smarmy Grin Podcast, episode number 18. Thank you for listening again. Even if it's only 5 of y'all, or 10 of y'all, or whatever the case might be, I'm just happy that I have people listening to this podcast. And I'm just happy that you guys are back to the Smarmy Grin Podcast. Like I said, Smarmy Grin Podcast, episode number 18. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. I did. Tonight's Monday night. I was just watching the Redskins versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And so the Philadelphia Eagles, when I left the bar, they were winning. So there's a sports update for you. Let's call that a pub update. A pub date. There we go. A pub date for you guys. When I left, it was 17-10 Eagles, if my memory serves me right. So if you guys out there are Philadelphia Philly fans or Redskins fans, that was an update for y'all. I know that this is gonna be like a week late, so it's all good. It's Monday night, so it might as well get this podcast sooner or later. So, but anyways, I hope you guys are having an awesome night, awesome Monday night. And you guys had a really good day back at work today, Monday. Today's Monday off, so I had a really good day. Played some basketball earlier tonight. And, yeah, I'm getting old, man. I can't guard all these young cats anymore. And for some odd reason, I always end up guarding all the younger guys. I mean, I got a baby face, I guess, and I guess people mistake me for, I don't know, like a 29-year-old guy, or a guy is like in his early 30s, but not really. I'm like in my early 40s, and I can't do all the things that I used to be able to do even a couple of years ago on the basketball court. So it's kind of depressing now as I'm getting older, not being able to play the way that I used to. And also, it's depressing when you start thinking about and reminiscing about all the conversations that I used to have with the older guys, the guys that used to be older than me when I was playing. I've been playing for a long time, but even like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I've been playing with the same group of guys for the last 25 years now. And it's always been a mix of groups. So a lot of these guys are younger and older guys. And the older guys, when I was in my early, I would say mid 20s, a lot of those guys they were in their early 40s, some of them in their 50s. So when I had all that conversation with those guys, and they were like, man, just wait till you hit 40, man. When you hit 40, it's all downhill. And that's when it comes to playing basketball. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. Yeah, sure. So here I am, 41, and I can't play worth a lick. I mean, I can shoot here and there. I can still play the point, make some good passes, but I'm telling you, man, it really is difficult. It's getting harder to play. I mean, I can still shoot and I can still pass, and I can still play pretty good defense. But when it comes to a lot of these younger guys who are more athletic, man, I cannot keep with those guys, man. It's just It's pathetic. And I want to put this. I really want to make a video of all of our games so you guys can see like how awful I play now. Not that I was ever like a really great player, like a great playground player or street baller, but I'm just like so pathetic now. It's really sad. So I'm gonna see if I can load a video like that up for you guys, so you guys can just laugh at me for a good like 15, 20 minutes. So it's gonna be the best of the worst highlights of me in my 40s. It's really sad. It really does depend if you're having like if you first of all it depends. I can only speak personally on this, but in order for me to have a really good night of basketball, I gotta get I gotta get a good night's sleep. So I gotta get some good rest, and I would say like 7 hours straight of sleep, nonstop, just sleeping. I gotta get that, and that's basically it. As long as I get my rest and my legs are fine and everything else is fine. So if I don't get that, or if I couch potato like for on my day off, if I couch potato for like half of the day, then I play like crap, absolute crap. So it's really pathetic. But I'm so like I said, I've been playing basketball for an extremely long time now, for a good 20 a good 25, 20 something years, and it's been a struggle.
So, like I said, I've been playing basketball for that long, and yeah, it's been a struggle tonight. I just hope that I can keep playing till I'm in my mid 50s, early 60s. Sorry about that. My microphone went out off and in and out, so I apologize about that. But yeah, I'm just hoping that I can keep playing ball till I'm in my 60s, man. Like these older guys that I used to play with, and I was always impressed that they were playing at a high level of basketball, as high as you can get in your 60s. And but the most important thing is that just going out there and having fun and staying healthy. So that's what I want to do. I've been playing this game for a very, very long time, 30 years now. So I've been playing basketball all my life, and I love playing it. I enjoy going out there and competing as much as I can now. So that's the game plan for the next however years I have left. So I appreciate every single day and night now that I play ball, so more so than ever. But not to say that I didn't appreciate playing basketball before when I was younger, which I always did. And I'll in one of these episodes, I'm going to talk about my experience playing basketball and how I got into playing basketball and the things that certain situations that happen on the court that you guys are probably not going to believe, but it's all true. So, anyways, I'll go into some other episode on that. But let me not ramble on. Let me get to the first segment of this podcast. I'm only going to have two segments. So I'm going to talk about The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. I'm a complete zombie nerd. I have been a zombie nerd for a long time now, and I got into The Walking Dead as soon as it was on TV. And after that, I just started watching a lot of other B movies, zombie movies, or apocalyptic kind of movies. So, and I've been into movies like that for a long, long time. I think the first apocalyptic type movie that I really enjoyed, I think this is what got me into the genre, was The Day After with Steve Guttenberg back in the early 80s. And I really enjoyed that movie back then. I remember watching it at school. And years later, watching it again, loved it again. So I enjoy watching that movie, and I've enjoyed watching those movies. So that's how I got into this, and I've been watching The Walking Dead since the very first season. I've loved every single season. There's been a couple of duds there. I would say the last 2 years, it's been a bit disappointing as far as the writing in certain situations. At times, it feels monotonous. At times, it feels redundant as far as the stories are concerned in The Walking Dead. To me, this group just keeps going in circles with no direction, and it's like they meet somebody, they pick up a few good people, and then they meet a bad guy. They gotta fight the bad guy. They do the same thing again. Blah blah blah. They find some peace, and then some other bad guy comes in, try to take their stuff, and blah blah, and so on, so on. So that's been like the most frustrating part about this show. So last season, I would say, was probably the first season in a long time that I really didn't follow it as much. I watched it here and there, but I wasn't tuned every Sunday night and watching this show. So last season was one of those seasons that I just wasn't interested, man. It's just because the stories got so redundant for me. And even with the Negan character that I really like a lot, even with that character, I was just like, whatever. But in other episodes too, which I'm going to talk more about the other genres of The Walking Dead, other versions of The Walking Dead that I've seen on YouTube. I will be talking about that. I'm going to make a podcast just on that. So I hope that you guys will listen to that if you're into that. But anyways, so I was watching the season opener this morning. I enjoyed it. I guess it's the follow up to the beginning of the war between the colonies and all that. So it was an action packed, interesting season. There was a couple of flashbacks on Rick's part where he's in his bed and he's got this long beard and all that, and his daughter now, it looks like she was like 8 years old or whatever. And so I don't know how that's going to play on for the rest of the season. Maybe we're looking into a glimpse or a window of what's going to happen in the next couple of years, or maybe not in the time frame of the show, not a couple of years from now, but maybe this season that's what's going to happen. They've fast forward 2 years, and that's what you see, an older Rick and an older cast of characters. So after seeing this episode, I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. There was a lot of action and all that, and some of the parts though were kind of predictable. You're like, seriously, like at the end, at the end of the episode, Gabriel basically tries to save the guy, one of the guys from Maggie's group, and he ends up basically being too nice of a guy, and the dude takes advantage of him, takes his car, and leaves him there behind with a herd of zombies. And he makes his way into a trailer for safety, and he ends up in the trailer, and guess who else is in that trailer? Of course, Negan. So you're like, come on, seriously? Like, we're gonna go with that? Seriously. That is the most predictable freaking thing that this show could do. So at the end of the episode, it was kind of like, really, we've already seen this scenario play out so many times. I'm like, are you guys really going to throw this crap again? So I don't know how I feel about the rest of the season now, because I can already tell where this show is going to go now. So they're going to try to save Gabriel, and this is what I'm thinking. They're probably going to try to save Gabriel. A couple of the main characters are going to die because of Gabriel's mistake and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I'm not going to be tuned in this season either. I'm just going to watch it on Mondays afterwards on Amazon. But I was just kind of disappointed, man. It was like, come on, are you serious? We're going to go with this again? We're going to go with this scenario again where one of the characters makes a stupid mistake that no one else in the world, in the planet, in the universe would make. Are you freaking kidding me? So that right there was like, it was kind of like a downer moment, because it was a really good episode. And besides that, that particular scene towards the end of the episode, to me, it ruined the whole episode. So I was like, because now this kind of foreshadows what's going to happen for the next 8 episodes. So I'm just like, man, whatever. So I'll wait and see what happens. So this show has been disappointing for me for the last couple of seasons. It's been a complete letdown just because of the redundancy of the show and the writing. So I've kind of lost interest over the last couple of seasons. I still watch it, but I'm not tuned in every Sunday to watch it. So I watch it when I can and when I have time or when I remember. And it was never like that for me with this show because I was hooked on this show. My friends and I would get together every Sunday and watch the show. So I'm not really hooked on it as much as I used to be. From there, I really do, I have to say, Fear the Walking Dead, the first season, it was interesting to watch. A new concept. This is a a concept that was based out of L.A. and the apocalypse hit in L.A. with all these zombies, and that was interesting and different. It was kind of slow the first season. It was slow the first half of the second season, but after that second half, man, this show took off, and it's been off the hook, man. I really, really, really like this show. I don't know why, but I really like this show more so than The Walking Dead. Fear, to me, is the better show right now. Fear the Walking Dead is just the better show. And the season finale was great. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. And the ending with Chris, that was pure Chris. And that character, I hated that character in the first season. And then he grew on me on that second and third season, and even more in the third season. And it's really cool how he handles the zombies and how he's handling his life in this post-modern society, modern apocalyptic society now. So it's interesting, his evolution in the show, and he's definitely my favorite character. So now I'm thinking and hoping that his character is not dead. From what happened in the season finales, and I don't think he died. I don't think he died in what he did. I think he was saved by Daniel. So I'm hoping that, I don't see why they would kill this kid though, because he's probably the best character on the show, and so I really enjoyed it. And then you start hearing about the crossover with that show and The Walking Dead. The crossover may be happening next season or the season after that, and everybody's saying that that crossover is going to happen, and I'm hoping that it will. It would be interesting if it does happen, but I'm enjoying the show as it is right now. I really do like this show. Madison, I can't stand her character. She's annoying, but I like watching her on screen. There's a couple other characters that I like. I forget the daughter's name. She's cool, and man, there's a few characters that passed away that I was kind of like, man, they should have kept them a little bit longer because I think they would have played a bigger role. But it's so yeah, Madison is that character's annoying. She's kind of starting to be a lot like Lori from The Walking Dead. Rick's wife, and she was annoying, and I was really happy when they basically like killed her off the show. So I hope that Madison doesn't get to that point where I'm just like, man, I hope they kill this character off the show. But I don't think it's going to happen though, because she's like a true survivor, and her daughter's a true survivor too. And Chris is a phenomenal character, and so there's a lot of interesting things that went on in the season finale, and I'm just wondering what's going to happen next season. So that show has me hooked. They really do have me hooked. I really do enjoy that show, and I enjoy it a lot. And like I said before, this show has probably been the best show over the last couple of seasons. My personal opinion, I think so, because I think The Walking Dead has just been a dud for the last couple of seasons. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm extremely looking forward to what's going to happen next season. And the only thing that I really didn't, that I don't like about these, what they have is like 16 episodes in one season. So what they do is they cut them in half. They'll give you the first 8 episodes, and then they'll take like a month off or 2 months off, and then they'll give you like the next 8 episodes. And honestly, I think this is working against them. I know that the ratings might be there, but I really do think that it's working against them because I watched the first 8 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead this season, and I loved it, and I was hooked. And then after the 8th episode, I completely forgot that there was 8 more episodes, and then they were going to take a break and show those 8 more episodes. But I completely forgot about it. I didn't even watch it. So I missed like all 8 episodes, and I just found out like last weekend that the show had its season-ending finale the week before, and I was like, what? And I thought it was already over like months ago, but apparently not. So I'm thinking this break here is not helping the show out. They're probably losing a lot of viewers because of it, and so I think it's hurting both shows really. And I think they're making them. They've been making a big mistake with these shows and with these breaks. So I hope that they change that. I kind of doubt it because the longer they stretch it out, it's more money for TNT, and obviously the network is in it, to win it, and it's in it for more money. So I just hope that they would change that. But regardless, I get all these episodes on Amazon, so I'm just like, man, whatever. I'll just watch them there anyway. So. But this last episode was fantastic. I loved how Chris went out on that last episode. I liked how he protected his family and his friends. But I also liked the side characters that saved him in the end. And then Daniel coming in. From what I'm seeing, it looks like he was saved by Daniel. So we'll see what happens with that next season. And I can't wait to see that next season. So we'll see what happens with both shows, with Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, especially The Walking Dead right now that's going on. So I'm hoping that The Walking Dead's not going to be a letdown. I think Fear is more of a raw show right now, more so than The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead has become too, I don't know, man. The Walking Dead has been too cartoony in a way. It's been too, if I'm making sense, I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's been too, I don't know how to describe it. It's just not the same show as it was. It lost that rawness to that show. It lost that edge, and it doesn't have that edge anymore. So the Fear definitely does have that edge. So we'll see what happens, and I'm just glad that I have something to watch now. So anyways, that's what I want to touch on tonight. I'm not going to touch the vent tonight, our final segment. Well, let me do a little bit. Okay, I'm going to touch it real quick. I'm going to touch the vent just real quick, and I'm just going to basically touch on what I touched on earlier tonight. So what I was talking about earlier tonight. So welcome to the vent segment, the bitching, the moaning. So what I'm going to bitch about tonight is, man, these guys at my gym, they need to stop. They honestly, these younger guys, I don't know what the heck they're thinking, man. Like, I'm an older guy. I can't guard younger guys, dudes. Like, I can't do that anymore. I'm always like guarding the younger, like really good players on the other teams, and I don't know why. I don't know why these younger guys want me to guard these younger guys. It's not like I can keep up with them. I can do a good job, but they can probably do a better job because they're younger, man. I can't keep up with these guys, man. I'm slower, and I've lost my vertical. I have no vertical if I had any. So that's what I'm vent about and bitch about tonight. I'm gonna vent and bitch about, like, I have no vertical. I'm slower. I'm older, and I have no energy anymore. And you guys are putting me to guard these younger, better players than me. You guys are killing me, man. You younger guys are killing me. You need to stop doing that. Because, in a way, it is like a compliment that I can still guard some younger guys that are really good. But in a way, it just gets tiring. And I'm like, man, these young guys are just lazy, man. They don't want to guard the best players on the other team. So they always get me to guard the best players. So I'm just like, man, whatever, man. I'll take the challenge. I'll get my butt kicked. But at the same time, I just can't keep doing this all the time, man. Especially after the previous night where I went out and had a few beers, and then, like, I'm feeling the effects of that because I'm such a wimp now. As I get older, I can only do 2 beers. And keep in mind, the alcohol content or percent is only like 4.5, maybe 5.2, because I can't do more than 5.2 because I'm such a wimp now. So I only had 2 beers, and I was hurting all day. I don't know, and I don't understand why. But it's just pathetic, man. The older I get, the worse I'm getting. But anyways, that was the vent, the bitching, moaning segment. So thank you guys for listening again. I'm keeping it short tonight, under 30 minutes, first time ever. Yay! So I'm keeping it under 30 minutes. I didn't promise it, so that's why it happened. When I promise it, it never happens. So I kept it under 30 minutes tonight. You guys should be proud of me because I've said it so many times and it never happens. But anyways, thanks for listening again, guys, to the Smarmy Grin Podcast, episode number 18. And I will talk to you guys on episode number 19. And I will have a better podcast for y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast tonight. I wanted to say some stuff tonight. Even if it was short, I wanted to get off my mind and off my chest. I hope you guys have an awesome night. Have an awesome week. And thanks for listening. See ya!